Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. My name is Amber and this is my page Beautifully Benoit. Obviously, we have a special guest here with us today. This is my husband, Enoch Benoit.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. So, obviously on my last video, I talked about how we were gonna start doing videos together, and this segment slash series would be considered the original Benoit, because obviously my page is called Beautifully Benoit. However, if it wasn't for Enoch, there would be no Benoit. Shout out to the Thompson gang. Prior to Benoit, I was Thompson, but we're not gonna go there. But so the original Benoit, which is obviously Enoch, since without him there would be no Benoit. So we just wanted to start this segment slash series just to kind of talk about us, how we met, also talk about just relationships, talk about our spiritual growth together, and different things along the way. Maybe some culture topics as well. We'll see if we get into that. We'll see. But yeah, this is my husband. Say hello to say hello to the world. Say hello to the Beautifully Benoit people and page and supporters.
Hi everyone. I want to thank you personally for supporting and being as great as you guys are and watching Amber's videos. I'm always the first one to be watching, but normally the third one to like it. So whoever those two people are.
Do you wait?
No.
Oh, when you get there, it's already 2 likes?
2 likes. Somebody's
out to the 2 likes.
But regardless,
you should have been the first one.
I should have. So I'm just concerned. That's all.
Why are you concerned? You were late.
I wasn't. I saw you hit post by the time I was done. Some thirsty individuals.
You were not thirsty. You were supportive.
Regardless.
Don't let him make you feel like you were thirsty. Keep liking them.
It'll be a race. I'll be first one day. Maybe for this video.
Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Yes. So for this video, we wanted to talk about how we met, when we met, and I think that's it. I mean, I guess when we started dating, but I guess that will be a part of how and when.
Sure.
But we'll figure that part out. So I'm gonna go from my side of things. Obviously, 2 sides to a story. I was attending my church, and my pastor told me that he was in communication with a musician who was gonna come and play at the church, and we're gonna see how he was. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, his name is Enoch. I'm like, all right, cool, great. Like, we'll see how he plays. At that time, I was on the praise and worship team, but we were in between musicians. We didn't really have a solid person to help us grow as a ministry, but just for the church in general. And so my pastor was looking for someone to take that position. So he told me about Enoch, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, when is he gonna come and play? So he was coming that Sunday. I think he was coming that Sunday, and yeah, he came that Sunday. We had a Christmas. It was Christmas. It was Christmas. It was Christmas. Mm-hmm. We had a Christmas play or Christmas service, and Enoch came to the service, and he played very well, and we were grateful because it had been a rough season for us. And after service, I went up to him and I was like, thank you so much for playing. You did a great job. We've had a hard time finding somebody who can play with us permanently. And you know what he did? This is what he did. Where's your phone? I said thank you. I did that whole thing. He looked at me, and then he went back to his phone. And I said, nope, I don't like him. He can't stay. And that was it for me. So that was for. I'll stop there, and then you can give your synopsis of that, like talking to pastor until you got to the church bit.
Okay, well, trying to keep it centered on us.
Yes. Well,
still, the call came that the church needed someone, and it being in Harlem was a plus because I lived in Harlem at the time. And it was a nice feel when I got to the church. They seemed to be very into worship, so I enjoyed it myself. And at the time I was playing somewhere else, so it was a whole thing of either getting coverage or just being out, whatever. So after service had gone well, I spoke to Pastor, and he seemed pleased with everything. And while waiting in the lobby, where everything happened, I don't recall snubbing or just ignoring Amber like that, but I can't say that it's not true. I'll just say that there was a lot going on at that time, so maybe I didn't hear her. Maybe I thought I heard her and I looked up and she didn't say anything. And then I said, all right, well, this is awkward. Let me look back down. Maybe that's what happened.
So after you snubbed me, you started working at the church.
Yes.
Okay, so my pastor is Pastor Darnell Harper. I keep saying pastor, but I haven't actually said his name. But anyway, he starts working at the church. I not only was I on the praise team, but I also was a secretary for the choir. So we had to exchange numbers, and it wasn't awkward. It wasn't weird because Enoch would be considered the minister of music. And so in order for him to communicate with the choir, he would text me and then I would send the information. So it wasn't weird. We had one rehearsal, and we had a rehearsal where it was your first time meeting us.
Yes.
And we're all in the sanctuary, and my friend Nyla, which probably you guys will eventually see, my friend Nyla, she comes up to me and she's like, hey Amber, I think he's in your age range. Age range.
Sizing them up.
I was like, because honestly, in our church, we had a lot of young adults and we had a lot of women. We were blessed. Beautiful women, okay? And I'm like, I am not paying this man no mind. You know, I was at this point in my life where I was going to work, going to church, and going home. There was no man, there was no menses, there was none of that. There was none of that. It was just like I needed to focus on God, and it didn't even occur to me that there was a new man in the picture. So I'm like, oh Nyla, please, I'm not paying you no mind. And then what happened? We were
being friends. That's what would happen. We would have rehearsals. And then, since she lives close to where I lived, I would give her a ride home, and we'd have conversations, brief conversations, but we were getting to know each other.
Right.
And then, at one point on one of the days when I was bringing her home, I asked her if she wanted to go get something to eat at this place in Harlem, and she said no, so she got even with me right then and there.
No, I did not.
She just said no. I asked her out.
No, that's not how it came across. Excuse me. The man said he was taking me home. We had never had an interaction that was even remotely romantic, or even like he was trying to talk to me, or vice versa. We just did church. Like, so when he asked me, did you want to get something to eat? I thought he was asking me if I wanted him to take me to get food before he took me home. And I said no, because at that point I was in a Bible class. I had Bible class at 8 p.m. We were done. It was like, what, 5:30? Maybe 6?
6-ish.
We were done at 6. And I was like, oh no, I have a Bible class, so I can't. It would just be too much. I don't want to be stressed about getting there on time, missing the class, all of that. So I said no. Then we pull up to my house, to my apartment, and I was like, oh man, I don't got nothing to do. I got like 2 hours to class. And he said, I asked if you want to get something to eat. I said, oh, you meant together. It never occurred to me that he was asking me on a date. I'm just sorry. It just did not. You did not say it like that. I'm saying the way you
asked it.
Yeah.
I'm serious about you, and I would like to get to know you on a different level. That seemed a bit much.
I'm not saying it had to be like that. All I'm saying is the way you said it. It sounded like you were asking me if I wanted to go get food to pick up to come back home.
Who doesn't like to get food? Whoever says no to getting food?
Can I ask a question? When I said no, what did you think?
Oh well.
That's all you thought?
My heart was not broken.
Well, obviously, because you didn't know me. But I'm saying, like, in your mind, you were asking me on a date, and I said no.
Just give her some time. She'll come around. Give her some time.
Anywho, so I said no. Yeah. And then I realized he was asking me on a date, and I was like, oh, sure. Let's go. And then we went out on a date. Technically, I mean, it was called a date.
Sure, it was still a good time. We got the whole point of a date is to get to know someone, and over food sometimes, and that's what we did. And we didn't talk about work per se.
Yes, which would have been church.
Church, right?
So that's it's hot. That is the beginnings of how we met, and in our next segment. Series, whatever, video, we'll discuss how we went from me saying no on the first time he asked me on a date to marriage, husband.
It might take more than one video, though.
I mean, well, yes. These will be, won't be too long. I mean, sweating profusely at this point. This is all we got.
Thank you for the sun, though, Lord.
Amen. Because, listen, it could be raining. Do y'all hear the background? This is beauty. This is beautiful. But thank you guys. Thank you for taking the time to hear our story. Thank you to Enoch for being a part of Beautifully Benoit, for creating the original Benoit, for allowing me to utilize your last name.
We love our name.
Yes. And yeah, they do. They sure love their name. I love your name too.
Now it's yours. So.
It is mine. So the original Benoits. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.